Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. As Week 14 comes to a close, it's time to start taking a look at the Week 15 opening odds here in the NFL. And with only 3 weeks of the regular season remaining, every game is magnified week to week, and this includes Week 15. Well, there's several big-time divisional matchups here this week. We'll start it off on Thursday Night Football, where there is one of those aforementioned divisional battles between the Arizona Cardinals and the St. Louis Rams. And the Rams come in as a 3-point favorite over the division-leading Arizona Cardinals, who got their 10th win here this past week in Week 14. Total of 40.5. Of course, both teams had very good wins. The Cardinals came from behind to beat the Chiefs, whereas the Rams really dominated in their game as well. And I think that you could see more of that this week potentially. And Rams -3 may not be a very bad bet here, as they are going to want to play spoiler in this division for sure. Next one I have for you is the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts here. Colts come in as a -6.5 favorite, total of 49 points. And the Colts almost lost one against the Browns. That would have made this game a lot more interesting, because the Houston Texans, I believe, would have been only one game out after their win this past week against Jacksonville. Now the Colts come in as a 6.5-point favorite in this one. And Andrew Luck played pretty horribly here this past week. You have to think he's going to have a bounce-back performance, play a lot better than what he did in Week 14. But of course, that remains to be seen. It remains to be seen where this line's going to go as well. Next one I have for you is an intra-conference game between the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills. Here, the Bills come in as a 5.5-point favorite in the early odds, total of 48 points. Now, this is an interesting game, but a lot of line movement left to be had in this one, I think, because we have yet to see the Packers play. So a lot of things can happen here on Monday night that could shift this line around. Make sure you check back at some of the other odds after this game, probably tomorrow morning. Make sure to see these lines are still where they're at, but my guess, they're probably going to be moved at least a little bit one way or the other. Next one I have for you is another great divisional battle between the San Francisco 49ers, fresh off of their loss to the Oakland Raiders. They beat the Seattle Seahawks this week in Seattle. Now the Hawks come in as a -9.5 to a -11 favorite, anywhere in between there. Total of 38.5. It's a pretty high spread considering the very low total, but with the way the 49ers offense has been looking, it's absolutely atrocious recently. And after their most recent loss, probably the biggest down of their season this past week. But I don't think it's going to improve at all this week. I would not be surprised if the Seahawks blew them out again and really started to climb in this division even more. The next game I have for you, another great divisional battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football for control outright for the NFC East. Should be an excellent battle. The Eagles come in as a 3.5-point favorite after their game against the Seahawks this past week, a total of 55.5. So both teams obviously coming off of games that they wish they could probably have back. At least for the Eagles' sake, and for the Cowboys, of course, going to have some long rest after their big win against the Bears on Thursday Night Football. So really going to be an interesting game. I think Cowboys +3.5 may be something to look at here as we head into the week. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a game between two teams who really don't want to win, it seems like, the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. And the Bears come in as a 2.5-point underdog in this one at home, total of 54 points. And with the Saints defense playing the way it is, and if the Bears can just get together and play actually well for two halves on offense, I think you can legitimately see them win this game and cover their +2.5 odds here. But then again, it's the Chicago Bears we're talking about. You really don't know what you're going to get. They're kind of like the NFL's box of chocolates. So those are your NFL opening odds report for week number 15. Make sure you check back later in the week for Dax and I's line movement series. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.